What has the president been up to on this day that the House is debating articles of impeachment against him? Let's go to CNN's Caitlin Collins. She is live for us at the White House. Caitlin, tell us, is the president watching this?
He seems to be watching pretty closely, Brianna, because he's even tweeting about specific things that members are saying or what he believes they're saying, because this morning about 10:40, right as this hearing was unfolding, this debate was breaking out between these members, the president tweeted and said that Democrats Veronica Escobar and Sheila Jackson Lee purposely misquoted my call. He said I want you to do us a favor, not me a favor. They know that, but decided to lie in order to make a fraudulent point. Very sad. Now, Brianna, there's been a lot of back and forth. I went back to see what exactly it was these lawmakers said. Sheila Jackson Lee, who is from Texas, had the actual transcript in her hands, was talking about what the president said on that July phone call at the center of all of this to the Ukrainian president. And she quoted the president as saying, "I would like you to do a favor, though." She left out the word us, but she nearly read verbatim what it was that the president said on that call, according to the transcript that was released by the White House. And then Veronica Escobar was essentially comparing the president's withholding that aid to what it would be like if that happened on a more local level, if a governor or a mayor withheld aid, and what would be the results of that for a community. So, but essentially what this shows is that the president is watching this closely. He's keeping an eye on this, watching as this debate is unfolding, and as these Republicans are bringing up these challenges to Democrats in these articles of impeachment, which of course we know at the end of the day isn't going to change, but it does show that they are trying to say they're here and they're on the president's side.
And Caitlin, the president today went after the teenager who just beat him to become Time Magazine's Person of the Year. What happened here? Tell us about this. It was very clear that he was bullying Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, you see her there on the cover of this magazine. They announced this yesterday. She's a 16-year-old climate activist. We should also note she has Asperger's syndrome, which she has said she views as a superpower. And they announced yesterday that she won this, that she was on the cover, though, of course, President Trump, Speaker Pelosi also in the running for that. And the president attacked her today on Twitter, saying Greta must work on her anger management problem, then go to a good old-fashioned movie with a friend, essentially telling her that she needs to chill. Greta, chill. Now, of course, we should note it's pretty clear the president's frustration with this. She's a climate activist. She's spoken out against the president. He is someone who's appeared on the cover of this magazine multiple times. He talks about Time Magazine at length. And at one point, even the Washington Post reported he had a fabricated Time Magazine cover with him on the cover, something that never existed, this particular edition, hanging in several of his private clubs. So clearly something that he has a lot of fascination with, Brianna.
Yeah, certainly. Caitlin, thank you so much for that. All right. Let's talk about this, because this was a really interesting one where he basically is telling her, look, go be a normal kid, which is he's saying that she's abnormal. He's saying that she has anger problems. He's saying that she needs to chill. And it doesn't really escape, I think, a lot of viewers that he's taking her on in a way that he takes on women who stand up to him.
And she, go ahead.
I was just going to go on. No, please.
She has Asperger's.
That's right.
She has a condition. Which
and when you see that tweet, do you feel, you read that he is taking her on for that reason, or he is taking aim at her having Asperger's with that tweet?
Not necessarily. Well, I don't know. I'm not in his head. But as president of the United States, or any human who knows anything about somebody who they're going after, you should not say things that appear to, whether intended or not, poke at her for something that she was born with, that she can't control, and something that she talks about. And she has given a lot of people who also suffer from, or were born with Asperger's, I shouldn't say suffer from, a voice and recognition. And so he has a responsibility, any person has a responsibility to know who you're talking about and to be careful, because words matter.
And I think it's key to who Greta Thunberg is, because as she speaks about it as her superpower, I think you can link that to the fact that she is very direct, that she doesn't really suffer fools, and she gets right to the point. She speaks what is on her mind. Exactly. It is right out there. And the president sees that, Gloria, as an anger problem.
Well, she beat him. He would love to be Time Man of the Year, of course, and that wasn't happening. And she won. And it doesn't matter that she's a child. It doesn't matter the age differential. It doesn't matter who she is in particular.
He's envious.
He is completely envious. You know, he he wants to be the winner, not the loser. And everything is personal to him. Everything is personal to him. And that's what this is about. And he's president of the United States. And he's got a bully pulpit. And he's got a Twitter account with who knows how many millions of people. And this is what he chooses to do with it?
It's small, but I have to say, I disagree a little bit. She's a public figure. She gives speeches. I think talking about her is
in this way?
I think it's pretty much fair game. You know what's worse? Absolutely. You know what's worse? Denying that global warming is happening.
Maybe.
See, I don't really care about being mean on Twitter.
No.
I really, that's who he is.
It's not just
Let me
being
ask
mean
you
to her,
about
it's
this.
being mean to anybody who suffers, or I shouldn't keep saying suffer, who has that superpower.
That's right.
She calls it.
So, but I also wonder if this is the same. All right, there are, for instance, let's just look last week at one of the hearings that we saw where there was a constitutional expert who was making a point that the president said the president can name his son what he wants, but he is not a baron. And I remember thinking, why did she say that? There was just no reason to say that. And there were a lot of people who were defenders of the president who said, why would you bring that up? That's inappropriate.
But
I guess
Greta,
my point is she fair game? Sure, she's a public figure, but chill, anger management, and basically be normal, you're not abnormal when his wife is championing cyberbullying?
It's petty and it's small, and of course he shouldn't do it. But compared to the fact that the planet is melting and that there are and that he's trying to get automobile companies to raise, not to lower their miles per gallon, that to me is so much more important. That the Times Man of the Year has to be about the least important subject in the world, frankly. I have no interest in who's the Time Man of the Year.
You don't, but he does.
Well, he does, but I know, but it just strikes me. This is an opportunity to point out we have a president of the United States who doesn't believe in man-made climate change. That is the scandal. What he calls this woman, a young woman, girl, I doesn't.
I
really
bet actually
down?
Greta Thunberg would
Why
agree
punch
with
down, though? I mean, I don't understand the punching down. You're right. She's a public figure, and she can be criticized. I wouldn't do it the way the president did it, but why, if you're president, punch down at a teenage girl? I mean, this just makes no sense to me. Why, he fights with all sorts of people all the time. Most presidents try to stay above all this, not this one.
It may be useful also to remember it fits a pattern, and that pattern actually does pertain to these impeachment articles. So the president uses that bully pulpit, not just to beat up Greta, but he also uses that bully pulpit to intimidate witnesses. And that's happened in this situation. And that's very problematic, to be able to use that bully pulpit and basically make people scared to talk up against him or to talk about the truth or to testify. That's the more dangerous, I think, side of this.